This is a KLFY Plus original podcast, Candid Conversations with Lainey Miller.
Welcome to a Candid Conversation with Miss Carol Trosclair. Thank you for joining me, Miss Carol.
Thank you for having me. I so appreciate it.
Of course. So you won Remarkable Woman with KLFY back in 2021. You were recognized for the David Trosclair Scholarship that you created, right?
Well, UL created it.
UL created it.
Yes.
But you were in charge of it, right?
Yes.
They created it for you and said, here you go. Tell me how that happened.
Well, my son, David Trosclair, accidentally passed away while a senior majoring in kinesiology at UL. And if you want to hear how he accidentally passed away, I'll tell you that part too. But unbeknownst to me, out of 1,000 students, David was the top student. So UL asked me, Miss Trosclair, would it be okay with you if we established a scholarship for your son to acknowledge his academic achievements and to carry on his legacy? I said, yes, thank you so much. What an honor. They said, it is. And there's no money in it. And it's up to you to fund it.
Like, you're welcome. Here you go. Responsibility.
So the kinesiology students said, we want to help you. We want to help you. What can we do to help you? And so I said, well, we could have a car wash. David was a clean car person. He washed his car every Sunday. You would find him in his driveway washing his car. And the kinesiology student said, okay, we'll help you wash cars. So I went to the Taco Bell on the corner of Pinhook and Collie Saloon because every Saturday they have kids with signs. They're band, they're raising money for band, camp, you name it. They wash cars. So I said, okay, I'll go to that Taco Bell and ask them if they would wash cars. So I did. And my hand is on the door, and it hit me. How am I going to get these kids up and out of a dorm room with hoses, buckets, sponges, towels, everything you need to wash a car? I couldn't figure out how I was going to do it.
Yeah.
So I just got back in my car, and I went down the street to Todd's Car Wash. It's on the corner of Ambassador Caffrey and Johnston. And I go in. Now, I don't know the man from Adam, but it's Todd's. He's got this big old sign, Todd's Car Wash. What do you think the man's name is?
Todd?
Or did he buy it from Todd? Is his dog Todd? Is his favorite uncle Todd? I don't know. So anyway, I go in and I say, hi, I'm Carol Trosclair. Is Todd here? Waiting to see, there's no Todd here or what? She says, oh yeah, he is. I think he's in the back. Let me call him. So she called Todd and said, Todd, there's a Miss Trosclair here wanting to see you. He said, send her back. So I go back in his office and I tell him, Todd, my son David Trosclair accidentally passed away. UL has a scholarship. I need to fund it. Car wash is so David. I was wondering, would you wash cars for me? Can I send students to you one day in September? My son's birthday, September 27th. Could I send students to you or people to you one day in September, and would you give me a deal on a car wash? He said, Miss Trosclair, for you, for your son, for kinesiology students, I'll give you the whole month of September.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So that first year, you bought a $10 ticket and you got a free $30 car wash. We did, well, to get David's scholarship endowed, I asked them, UL, how much do you want me to raise? 5,000, 10,000, $1 million, what? They said, yes.
Yes, to what?
Raise as much money as I can? Yes. If you can raise $10,000, David's scholarship will get endowed. I thought, how in the world am I going to raise $10,000? David's his friends are poor. Mm-hmm. My friends, we're in the oil business. We got no work right now. Mm-hmm. How am I going to do that? So with this car wash, that first year, we raised $11,990. And Dr. Campbell, David's professor, I said, Doc, those odd numbers bother me. Can I just give $10 to say we raised $12,000? And he said, no, you can't. So we raised, but David's scholarship got endowed. Awesome. Well, we did, as you can see, that first year, just selling $10 tickets, we did so good. But that next year, I told Dr. Campbell, Doc, as good as we did, you have to live in Acadiana and you have to have a car wash. Why don't we, well, there was an article in the paper. The only businessman that called me up when that article was in the paper was Kermit Duyon of Travel Machine. He calls me, he says, Miss Trosclair, can I buy 15 tickets? If I leave you a check for $150, would you give me 15 tickets? I want to bless all my travel agents with a clean car. I said, yes, sir. So I did. So that next year I said, Doc, why don't we go ask Kermit if he would sponsor a vacation? Because these students live everywhere, and if they can sell a ticket, you can just call Kermit and design your vacation. He said, well, it's worth a try. So in August, I go and I email Kermit, and I said, Mr. DeYoung, can Dr. Campbell and I come see you? He said, yes, come Wednesday at 11. So I go in and I tell him, same thing. Kermit, my son David Trosclair accidentally passed away. You has this scholarship. It's up to me to raise money. Last year we had a car wash. We did great. But you have to live in Acadiana, and you have to have a car to wash. So I was thinking, sir, would you sponsor a vacation for two? He turns his computer around, and you can see all this that he has given to. And he said, Miss Trosclair, for you, Doc, for your students, I'll give you the whole month. Yes, I will give a vacation for two, all expense paid vacation for two. We walked out of there. So then that year, you buy a $10 ticket to win a custom design vacation for two from Travel Machine. Take that ticket to Todd's Car Wash. You'll get his $30 car wash for free as a thank you gift from me and the students. Wow. Well, every student club on campus is allowed to have one fundraiser a semester. So we had September, October, November. What can we do? Well, what I did was I went to Judy's Inn and asked him if he would sponsor in September, also sponsor a burger. He said, yes. He gives away free burgers, cheeseburger, hamburger, whatever you want. I went to Tropical Smoothie and asked them if they would give whatever, and they said yes, and they gave away a flatbread. I went to Rev Coffee. Would you give? Yes. They give free coffee, tea, any pastry in their counter. Great Harvest? Yes. The Potato Place? Yes. So I have 6 places that you can go to September, October, November, and you get something free with your $10 ticket as a gift from me and the kinesiology students. It is win, win, win. You get to win a vacation, you get something free, and you support a scholarship.
And so this scholarship has been in place since 2010, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, so how did David accidentally pass away?
He was sick. So I worked out of town in Texas. I worked out of state Monday through Saturday. When I'd come in on Saturday, I'd call David, and on Sunday, he would get my credit cards. I told David, I will support you in college. Your job is to be a good student. Whenever you're not a good student, you can fund your own college. So that was his job. Mine was to support him. So I would come in, I'd give him my credit card for gas and groceries, and I would just whatever he needed. I'm not paying his dates. I'm not paying his social life, but for school.
What a good mom.
So yeah.
And so what happened?
So he called me. Well, I called him, and I said, David, you sound sick. He said, Mom, I am so sick. I said, what do you have, son? He said, I don't know. I'm so sick. I said, oh, okay. Well, so Sunday, I called him to say, David, are you coming to get my credit cards? And he didn't answer. He's always answers. He didn't answer. So, I wonder what's the deal. But Monday morning, I get in the car, and I head to Texas. And David calls me at 8:10 in the morning. He said, Mom, I saw you called me. He said, what time is it? I said, it's 8:10. He went, oh, no, I missed my 7:30 class. I said, David, you sound sick. He said, Mom, I'm so sick. He said, I'm going to take some medicine to try and get better, though, because I want to ask my professor, can I make up the work? I have an afternoon class. I want to get better to go to class. And if I can't get better, I just, want to let the professor know I'm so sick. So what he did was he took a combination of his allergy prescription medicine with over-the-counter medicine. It stopped his heart, the toxicology report said. So, that's why the doctor says don't mix medicine. But you do it. You think, okay, I can't miss today.
Right.
Runny nose, sore throat, watery eyes, stuff. You just take all this stuff trying to get better.
Basics.
Just to try and get better. And he was just trying to get better to go to class.
Of course he was trying to go back to class. He was the top in that kinesiology class, right?
That's right. He never missed class. Yeah. So that's why part of my message, too, is don't mix medicine.
So you found out that he was the top in his class from the professor on a phone call after he passed away. Tell me about that phone call.
Well, UL asked me, like I said, Miss Trosclair, can we establish a scholarship for your son? David was the top student. And I had no idea. I mean, like I said, he gave me his report card and it was straight A's, but I didn't know he was the top student. So what an honor. So a little bit of David lives on through his scholarship. As I say, David was not able to fulfill the entirety of his career goals, dreams, aspirations, but through his scholarship and these students that go on to be a success, he lives on.
Wow. So I want to hear a little bit more about these students because I know you know their names by, a drop of a hat, all the names on the plaque, but we'll learn more about those students after this short break.
Candid Conversations with Lainey Miller.
Welcome back, Miss Carol Trosclair, chatting with me. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. So we have a scholarship to talk about, the David Trosclair Scholarship. You were recognized as the remarkable woman back in 2021 for helping create the scholarship, and it goes to kinesiology students at ULL. So tell me about some of the students that have been awarded the scholarship.
They are the most wonderful kids, so polite, so well-mannered, smart. Oh my God, they're so smart. And in fact, David has a perpetual plaque at UL. And so whoever this David Trosclair scholars are, their names gets on that plaque. And one of the students in their freshman year said, I want to be a David Trosclair scholar. And they were. Wow. So it gives the students something to aspire to. But they all go on and they have successful careers, just doing wonderful things.
Well, I mean, how does it feel since David is no longer with you? Are there students that came after him that aspired to be like him and they never even met him? How does that feel for you as his mom?
Well, I want to raise as much money as I can because of that. Because like I said, a little bit of David lives on through their success. So when I have my fundraiser every fall semester, we just finished. I am so passionate about raising money. You don't want to see me September, October, November because I have tickets to sell. Aww. And the more money I raise, the more scholarships we can give. And then these students are so grateful and so appreciative.
So what are some of the things you hear from these students when they're getting that scholarship money? Do you always get to hand deliver it to them?
UL has a banquet, a scholarship banquet, where they hand out the scholarships. And they're so grateful. In fact, I wish I'd have I just got 2 thank you letters, the most beautiful thank you letters. I'll have to send it to you because they're just so grateful and so appreciative. So your $10, I can promise you, will not be spent for a better cause than raising money for these students and their scholarship.
Right. What are some success stories, like beyond what their careers go on to be? Maybe they had struggles. Are there certain things like that that you hear of? Like I'm sure they work full time. Being a student is full time. Like how has this scholarship and my $10 helped some of these students?
Well, like I said, kinesiology is hard. You cannot work 40 hours a week, pay for school, and get the kind of grades you need to go on to get that second degree. But not only, just being a straight A student will not get you in to grad school. You've got to do community service. You got to do leadership. You got to do all the things. Right. Be a well-rounded person. You got to volunteer and you got to do hospital work or PT work, whatever. And so this scholarship I give the largest scholarships on campus, and it frees these students up to do what they need to do to go on to grad school. And every David Trosclair scholar has gotten accepted into grad school and gone on to be a success.
Wow. So you said it's the largest scholarship. How much do they get?
The UL allows $5,000. I wanted to give $20,000 for a whole semester plus some. $5,000 is the most they let me give.
Hey, and that's so the most. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we have 2 students that get that.
Each year?
Each year.
Okay. And then have there been any people chosen from the past that maybe he knew?
Oh, in the beginning, yes. They were his peers. In fact, David had passed the GRE, and he was gone on to be a physical therapist. And actually, he graduated posthumously. And his dad, his sister, and I walked to get his diploma, and the Cajun Dome, gave us a standing ovation and a thunderous applause because they knew David. He was smart. And the letter that he got from the professor to get into grad school was, what a unique man David was, young man, because he helped and tutored all these students that were his competition. Mm-hmm. But he helped tutor them in physics and all these hard subjects so they could pass and be his competition.
Okay, we are going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
Candid Conversations with Lainey Miller.
Welcome back. So, Ms. Carol, whenever you won Remarkable Woman back in 2021, you received $1,000 for
ma'am.
winning, and you gave it to a cause here in town. Who did you give it to?
The Lafayette Public Library.
Why did you choose to give them $1,000?
They have a program. If you give $1,000, they will give a plated book every year in perpetuity. I say until Jesus comes. David is getting a book in his name. And also on that KLFY TV 10 is on there. And I wanted to shout your praises too in the TV station for that $1,000. So for the last 15 years, they've had a book in kinesiology related to health or that genre of books. And David's name is on it, and KLFY TV 10 is on it too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Were there any other options you considered, or was it you knew it would be them right away?
Well, I mean, there's so many good causes in Lafayette and so many just nonprofits that need, but I just thought this benefits the whole community. Mm-hmm. And the subject matter, health, wellness, fitness, that genre of book fits the community and is so David.
So you said all the books are centered around health, wellness,
fitness, because that was David. He was a kinesiology major. That was David. Yes.
How did his passion for that start? Was it just because that was his major, or was there something that sparked that when he was growing up?
He just, you know how you just like something?
Mm-hmm.
He just loved working out, and he wanted to help people because he wanted to be a physical therapist. That's helping people. He just had a desire to help people get better, get well. I'm in physical therapy right now, actually.
I can think of him every time.
I do, you know. My physical therapist is helping me a great deal. And that's what David wanted to do, is just help people.
So you have been so involved with raising money for this scholarship, but you're also involved in a million other things in the community. But we'll talk about your great work that you do for Acadiana after this short break.
Candid Conversations with Lainey Miller.
Welcome back. We're talking about you this time, Miss Carol. So talk to me about some of your other passions outside of the David Trosclair Scholarship.
You know, there comes a point in time in life when you just want to give back and you want to make a difference. So people say you're involved in a lot. I want to make a difference. So I'm on the board of the Extra Mile, which is a nonprofit that helps women and children with substance abuse, addiction. We have a house, Meredith's Place, where these women can go. It's the only facility where women can go to get help and bring their children, because its statistics are, and research is, women do much better when they have their children with them.
Is this in Lafayette?
It's in Lafayette. It's the Extra Mile. And what we do is, like the Bible says, if they ask you to go 1 mile, go 2. So we go that extra mile. Sometimes, you know, your family's gotten exasperated, exhausted. I'm done helping you. We come and we go that extra mile because at this point, they really are at rock bottom and want to change their life. So I'm all about changed lives and helping people get back on their feet and doing better for themselves. I'm also on the board of the Lafayette Association of Professional Landmen. I'm a petroleum landman. I feel like you've got to give back to your organization. So I'm on that board.
What does that board do?
Things for we have luncheons, monthly luncheons, which I just got the speaker to be the November luncheon speaker. We do fundraisers to help. We have crawfish boils and various things that we do to raise money to help other nonprofits. Mm-hmm. We do Toys for Tots, and to get into the party, it's a Christmas party, you have to bring a toy. So we just do all kind of things to help the community and other nonprofits.
Love it.
Yeah, it's great. And then I'm on the board of Connections Professional Women's Networking Organization. what we do is we support, and men can, we call it, women, connections women, but men can join too. And what we do is we support each other's businesses. I'm all about supporting local women, men-owned business. I'm on with an ambassador with One Acadiana. And what we do is we support local businesses. In fact, I have a ribbon cutting today at noon at one of the businesses. And I want to know about all this because people say, Carol, do you know? And I can say, yes. Do you know a dentist? Can you recommend? And I'm a resource for people of recommending things. And so I'm real involved with One Acadiana. That's a great chamber, the Chamber of Commerce for economic development in Lafayette. I love being an ambassador for that. And I'm also in Women of Wisdom.
What is that?
We are we're 166 diverse women in the community. And we just do all kind of things, again, to better the community. We're involved with Love Our Schools. In fact, I just got asked tomorrow, would I go to Paul Bro like at 6 o'clock to 7 and greet the students as they get off the bus?
Aww.
So we just do all kind of good things in the community. So yeah, it just comes a point in life where you just want to give back and do good.
I love that. Was there anything else you wanted to add about your time being named a remarkable woman back in 2021 or creating this scholarship in honor of your son? Was there anything else you wanted people to know about this?
Well, I want KLFY TV 10 to know that I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful that I got that $1,000, that a book is in the library every year, that y'all's name is in that book. I just appreciate that Remarkable Woman contest that gave me the opportunity to have a book in perpetuity forever until, like I said, until Jesus comes. David's having a book at the library and your name is on it. So it just blessed me so much to win that, and I'm so grateful for it. I want you to know.
Yeah, well, you deserve it. You're continuing to bless students here in Lafayette. Thank you so much, Ms. Carol, for joining me for a candid conversation.
Thank you so much for having me and letting me talk about my cause.
Of course,
I appreciate
of
it
course.
so much.